We're going to solve this system using the elimination method. With elimination, you're allowed to do two things. You're allowed to add and you're allowed to multiply. So, addition is supposed to eliminate. If it doesn't, you multiply first. So if we were to add these two equations as they are, 5x plus 7x would be 12x. 1y plus negative 3y is negative 2y. We don't have either x or y being eliminated. So we got to choose to eliminate the x or the y's. I'm going to choose to eliminate the y's because they're easier. They're already opposites, and when I think of 1 and 3, I'm trying to find the smallest number that divides that 1 and 3 both divide into. It's also known as the LCM or LCD if you're doing fractions. Well, the LCM of 1 and 3 is 3. So what that means is, that means I need to multiply this equation by 3, the whole equation, not just the y, but every one of them. Because when that becomes a 3y, then when I add, they're eliminated. So let's go ahead and do that. So you multiply 3 times 5x, you get 15x. 3 times y, you get 3y. 3 times negative 19, was that negative 57? Yeah. And then this equation, you just write it down as it is, the second one. 7x minus 3y equals negative 53. And now we're going to add. I'm going to do the y's first. When you add those two, they're gone. They become 0y, which means they're gone. This becomes 22x. This becomes negative 110. So this is the equation we're now solving. And to solve, I just divide both sides by 22. And we get x equals negative 5. Now we need to find y. And it does not matter which equation you use. I'm going to use the first one. 5x plus y equals negative 19. Just because it has fewer minus signs and fewer numbers. So I'm going to take the equation. Everywhere I have an x, I put a negative 5. And then I solve for y. 5 times negative 5 is negative 25. Add 25 to both sides. And we get y equals 6. So our solution is the point negative 5 comma 6. And that's it. For this example, we're going to solve using the substitution method. What that means is we're going to substitute one equation to the other. Now if you notice, we already have x equals 16 minus 3y. So what that means is I'm going to take the 16 minus 3y and I'm going to replace in the other equation for the x. So I'm going to take the 9 and then I'm not going to use the next. I have no idea why it does that. And it does that all the time. I just don't like it. So I'll take that x and we're going to replace it with what it equals down here. 16 minus 3y. Then close it. So now instead of 9x we got 9 times that. And then write down the rest of the first equation, plus 5y equals negative 10. The reason why we do that is because now we have an equation that has nothing but y's as the variable, and not two different variables like this one did. So now let's multiply this out. 9 times 16 is 144. 9 times negative 3y is negative 27y. Drop everything else. Subtract or combine like terms. Keep the 144 minus 27y plus 5y is negative 22y equals negative 10. Subtract the 144. Move my paper down. Notice that sign there stays with the 22y, so it's negative 22y equals negative 154. Divide both sides by negative 22. Go and drop it down some more. And we get y equals, what is 154 divided by 22? First off, a negative divided by negative is a positive. Is that 7? I do believe it is. 7 times 2 is 14 and 4 to 15. Yep, 7. So now we have a y equals 7. Now we need to find x. Now it doesn't matter which formula or which equation you use, but this one is by far easier to find x. So I'm going to use that one. We have x equals 16 minus 3y. And we know what y is because we just found it. It's 7. Not sure what that is. And then 3 times 7 is 21. And x equals negative 5. Now you can always check it. Let me write the answer down. The answer is negative 5 comma negative 7. That's the solution right there. If you want to check it, throw in the negative 5 up here, and then the 7 for the y, and check and see if it all equals out. 9 times negative 5 is negative 45. 5 times 7 is 35. And negative 45 plus 35 is negative 10. And what that means is it checks out. See that? Negative 10. So negative 5, negative 7 is the solution.